you, Pastor Liz, for making me cry before we get out here. Like Liz said, I grew up here. I'm 23 years old, and I grew up since I was 3 years old in this church. And even though I grew up here, I still went through a lot of crap. As a Christian woman, I still ended up in a crappy relationship. I still dabbled with drugs and alcohol, still experimented with sexual encounters because I was curious, and you know what? My society taught me to. And it's getting worse, like Becky was saying. It's getting worse. Every year it's getting worse and worse. And I remember at one point being alone in my room, on the floor, crying, looking in the mirror, making a list of things that I need to change about myself to be more like them. To be more like a woman on the cover of a magazine who is photoshopped half her size. I show that in the next issue. I Photoshop a girl from probably a size 12 to a size 2. I can do it myself, so I know it's real. But girls don't think it's real, and we're so easily influenced, especially at a young age, as a young adult, from 16 to 25, we're so easily influenced by our media. Well, we decided to join the media and reverse that. We want to reverse everything that Satan is using to teach you and your friends. Your friends at high school, I guarantee you, one of you know, each of you know at least one person who has an eating disorder, one person who cuts themselves to relieve the pain, their emotional pain. You know one person who lives in an abusive home. You know one person who is sexually abused. A choice that they don't even have, and the regret that they're going to have the rest of their life to live with, and they didn't even have a choice. And they're too ashamed to talk about it. As women, we are too ashamed. It wasn't until Pastor Liz, probably one of my bestest friends in the entire world, this is how I got out of that situation, is she was my friend, she related to me on the things that I was dealing with, and she led me out of it. And now it is my passion to do that for you. And I wish I could be best friends with all of you and get your whole life story and leave you out of that. But obviously I don't have the ability, and you probably won't open up to me anyway. So we decided to create a meeting where all of us women can be women together, women of God together. In this world right now, we're going to be women of God together. So that's my heart behind it. Our website is www.jasminemag.com. We have our first issue up, which talks about how we do compare ourselves to the women on the magazines. Our next issue comes out December 18th, and it is actually about cutting and self-mutilation. And this is one of my dearest friends, Alyssa. She's also on my Jasmine staff, and she's going to share her heart for Jasmine as well.
About a year ago, Tara came to me with this idea about this magazine that she sort of was just like, oh, I'm just sort of thinking about this idea to create this thing for young women. And not only because she is my best friend that I know that I needed to support her in this dream, but because I knew that I had my own story to tell. I fell back from God, and I became sexually promiscuous at the age of 14 and lost my virginity at the age of 17. And throughout this whole time, I had people telling me, oh, you have this perfect life. You have this perfect family. You're a straight-A student. You're gorgeous. You're so thin. Those people telling me that, the reason I was because I was thin was because I was hanging over the toilet. I was cutting myself because it hurt so bad. Everything that we're talking about in this magazine, I feel like I can testify to, and I feel like I should be sitting up here advertising the magazine, but it's so much more than that, because this magazine is coming from these women's stories, all of your stories. It's just, it's so scary in our society what these young women are having to deal with and what they're having put before them. It's very scary. And what my passion is with this magazine is finding the girls that are not just the girls that are already pure and trying to stay pure, it's the girls who lost that. Because I know that I can relate to them and say, God still loves you. yourself down and say, I'm sorry, I messed up, and that to him is more beautiful than many, many things. So I can stand up here now and admit to all of you who 3/4 of you I have never met in my life and can say that, yes, I have had sex. I've had sex with more than one person. You know, it's scary, but because I am past that step of the shame and regret, and now know that I can look forward and I can teach these other young women that struggle with what I do, I can teach them and save them from that pain if I can.
Amen.
So, we have a table out there. Come and check it out. We have t-shirts and we have candles and everything. My t-shirts are really cute. We're trying to get this into print one day, and to do that we need money, and being, you know, college students, we don't really have all that much. Yeah. And then, you know, if God's putting even the smallest little twinge on your heart to help us out, even just $1. If you don't want to buy a t-shirt, if you don't want to pay $12 for a t-shirt, just $1. You know, if there's 50 people that give $1, that's already, you know, something that's going to take us in the right direction. But that's enough about the money talk. Tara wants to talk one more time. Thank you.
I just want to say that our all-time goal is to always reach one more person. And when I mean reach, I don't mean necessarily bring to Christ or anything like that, but I mean relate to, so that she feels like she's not alone. But we need your help with that, because we can reach you, but then you have to bring in the one more woman, and then one more woman after that, and then one more woman after that. And it's going, it's going to be filtering down all over our society.
Amen.
So, thank you.
Amen.